At the Peacefestival 2011 in Copenhagen, Denmark, KPnetTV is now here with Angie Zelter. And Angie, you're a global citizen, you're a UK peace activist, you're here at the Peace Festival in Copenhagen. Why did you choose to come to this Peace Festival?
Well, I was invited to come, and I was very interested to come because NATO is seen as a threat around the world, and I came to talk about NATO and militarization of Europe and the connections between the military and climate change, because the military use up so many of our carbon resources. So I came to give a few talks here and to meet some of the Danish peace movement.
Yeah, and NATO is not a new thing which you're opposing in your life. This summer you went to Sweden to participate in a camp that was arranged against a NATO military arrangement in Sweden. What are the experience from this anti-NATO camp?
Well, it was great because there were activists from all over Europe, and also it was very interesting to see that there's this huge area called the North European Aerospace Test Range up near Luleå, right up in the north of Sweden, and it's on Sami land, on indigenous land, and it's being used by NATO and other Western nations as well to have these military exercises without the permission of local people there. And I think it was important for us as Europeans to be there and say, look, we know this is going on, and the reason it's going on is because the US and NATO are planning the next war, the next resource war, over the oil and gas which is underneath these melting ice caps. And to just start putting into the public debate, do we want to carry on living this way? Do we want to carry on having all of these wars? Why is it that we're allowing NATO and the USA to put bases all around China and Russia to fight over the Arctic resources, but also to fight China? That's the next big war that's going to happen. And to have some discussion about that, especially when the world's ecosystems are crashing. And we need to change the whole system in Europe. Why are we allowing this militarization to continue?
Besides from the wars led by the US against Iraq, Afghanistan and Libya, you're also very active in the struggle for a free Palestine. How come Palestine is so important to you?
Well, from a British perspective, we're very much to blame for what's going on there. It was a British mandate. We were sort of the colonial masters in Palestine, and we allowed what happened to happen there. And also because it's what's going on in because of what happened in the Holocaust and the Second World War, it's Europe that is to blame for that anti-Semitism. And then to see what's now going on, which is the Jewish population, a certain segment of the Jewish population, are making Israel into a very fascist, racist society, and pushing the indigenous people out, pushing the Palestinians out. That's wrong. And the fact that there's so much destruction going on there and human rights abuses, and our country is ignoring that because of the geostrategic importance of Israel, just to me highlights the hypocrisy of the way that we deal with lots of things in our foreign policy. And so in a way it's a really, really good example. And also the Middle East and what's going on with the Palestinian issue is something that we know motivates a lot of the so-called terrorists. So I want to just engender much more of a discussion about what is terrorism. Why is it that we call certain people terrorists, but we don't recognise that our nations act in a terroristic manner? We threaten mass destruction by having nuclear weapons, you know. So there's that whole discussion. And also, why is it that we say some places are worthy of interfering in and others aren't? You know, why do we allow what goes on in Palestine and Israel, but we go to war in Libya? You know, we have to confront that whole hypocritical sort of system.
Thank you very much, Angie.